Welcome to the Nourish to Thrive podcast, faith-forward, science-backed strategies for women who want more energy, less weight, and real answers. I'm your host, Tanya Pennington-Miller, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist with a master's degree in applied clinical nutrition. If you're tired of feeling dismissed by your doctor, confused by your labs, and stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. Here, we simplify the science. We get to the root, and we anchor it all in truth, because God made your body to heal and thrive, not just survive. It just needs the right kind of support and less noise. Hello. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to give you a quick heads up about what you are about to hear. What you're listening to is actually a recording of my live training, The Real Reason You're Not Losing Weight, and How to Reset Your Metabolism in 21 Days. At the end of this episode, you'll hear me open for enrollment for my 21-day Primal Reset. And if you are listening to this in real time, enrollment is officially open right now. But depending on when you're catching this, the doors may not be open at the moment. And just a reminder, this training was recorded during the beta round of the reset. That means the price you hear me mention in this episode may not be the same price the next time enrollment opens. So if you're listening live, you can head straight to the link in the show notes and join us. And if you're listening later, make sure you're on the wait list so that you're the first to know when the doors open. And you can find that link in the show notes as well. All right, let's get to it. This training is packed, and so you might want to grab a notebook. Let's go. Welcome, ladies, and a few gentlemen. I see we have some men on the list too. And, a lot of what we are going to be talking about today is going to be geared towards women. You know that is who I primarily work with. But at the end of all of this information I'm going to be giving you, we are going to be opening for enrollment on my 21-day Primal Reset. And men are allowed. So ladies, if you are going to want to have your husband hop in, you can do that. Okay. So, it's so good to see all of you. I want to give everyone just like another minute to hop in, and we're going to just get right into it. So I would love for you to share with me in the chat. If you could make like one symptom disappear, what would that be? What symptom would be like just, I wish I could get this gone? My husband just asked, when does Tanya's resets start this morning? Yeah, men do amazing on this, by the way. They really do. It's kind of not fair, but they really do. Okay, inflammation, yes. Menopause belly. Can I get an amen for that one? Belly fat, lose fat. Okay. What else do you have? More inflammation, more belly fat, exhaustion. That is a big one. I do know this. Sweet cravings. Yes. Same to all of that. Stubborn and new hip and belly fat. Inflammation, lipedema. Okay. The yucky and migraines around period time. Do you know we shouldn't be having premenstrual symptoms? We shouldn't. Like, it's common. It's not normal. Okay. So, let's get to this. Hard time sleeping. Yes. Cravings and headaches. Yes. Okay. This is all the things I hear all of the time. So, inability to lose weight at all. And I hear this one often, and I understand this one. We are going to cover all of this because when your body is stuck in this place that we are going to talk about, literally your body hangs on to fat, belly fat mainly, like with dear life. Okay. So I do want you to know that it is not you are not lazy. Like, your body physiologically is in this place. And I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you why it's in this place, and I'm going to tell you like what the heck you're going to do about it. Okay. Can I just double check? We are like recording. Can we? My team is on here. Do I see? I just do not want to. Yes, we are. There's my team. I love my team. Could not do this without my team. Okay. Okay. So let's get started here. I want to tell you about someone who, for the sake of this training, I'm going to call Sarah. Okay. She was 42 at the time, and she was doing all of the right things. She was eating clean, watching her portions, tracking her food, going to the gym when she could. She had heard that, stress can make you gain weight. So she was trying to manage her stress. She started skipping breakfast, cutting carbs, because that particular combination of intermittent fasting and keto is what worked for her husband, but it literally backfired for her. Like the scale would not budge. She would say that her belly would feel flat in the mornings, but by 3 p.m., she said it looked like she was 16 weeks pregnant. Like the bloating was so uncomfortable, she'd end up like unbuttoning her jeans just to get through the rest of her day. Okay. Her energy would tank every afternoon. She would often grab a coffee or a handful of chocolate chips. She had these like special chocolate chips that she thought were like healthier than normal chocolate chips, just to help push her through the rest of her day. Okay. Then when it came time to actually be able to go to sleep at night, she would just lie awake with a racing mind and with a body that was just tired, but also wired. Okay. So she went to her doctor. Maybe you've done the same, hoping to find answers, but her labs came back saying they were normal. Okay. Have you been there? I've been there. She would say the most frustrating part for her is that what used to work for her to lose weight did not work anymore. And what was working for her husband made her feel worse. And like nobody could tell her why. Okay. I have worked with so many women in that exact place. And I've been there myself, frustrated in my own body, let down by conventional medicine's answers for what I was going through. I'm Tanya Pennington-Miller. I'm a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, a functional blood chemistry specialist, and I have a master's degree in applied clinical nutrition. But long before I earned any of these credentials, I was just like many of you, all of the things that you're saying in the chat. Okay. Trying to figure out why my body felt stuck. And I have not always had an easy time of staying at a healthy body composition. In fact, that exact struggle is what led me into this field. I became a certified trainer at 18 years old. I competed nationally in figure competitions for years and later pushed my body through CrossFit competitions, half marathons, Spartan races that literally were up to 30 miles long. Okay. And I would often take podium in every season of these pursuits. But at one point, despite everything I thought I was doing right, I hit a wall. Like all those things I just listed, you would think I was like the most in shape, leanest, like best feeling person, right? But then I was diagnosed with adrenal exhaustion. And all the methods that I knew to keep my body lean stopped working. I was exhausted. I was inflamed. I was gaining weight. My hair was thinning. I was so frustrated. And that's when I knew something had to change. And what I've learned is this: when your blood sugar is dysregulated, when your stress hormones are in overdrive and your digestion is not functioning properly, your body will not prioritize weight loss. At that point, it's focused on survival, not fat burning. And no amount of effort can override that. Like, I remember pushing myself to wake up at 4 a.m. so that I could get out and go running at 4:30, even though no part of me wanted to do it. Okay. Are you ladies still here? Because my screen went black. Oh, I am so glad. Like, what on earth just happened? Hopefully, I just froze for you and we are here. Okay. Let me get my screen corrected again. I do, for those of you who don't know, I do live in the mountains, like out of town in the mountains, and sometimes Wi-Fi can be a little goofy. Okay, here we are. So before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to invite Jesus into this space. I know many of us are carrying not just physical burdens, but emotional ones too. Maybe you have been feeling worn down. Maybe you've been feeling frustrated with your body, or even just wondering if you can feel good in your own skin again. Okay? But today is about hope and learning and how to care for these incredible bodies that God designed. Okay? Oh, so Lord, we ask you to just meet us here today, to quiet the noise in our minds, Lord, and to just bring peace into our hearts. And just remind each woman here that she was fearfully and wonderfully made by you. Lord, help us to see our bodies not as problems to fix, Lord, but as gifts to care for. This isn't about perfection. It's about learning how to honor the way you designed us and trusting that your design is good. We give you this time, Lord. In your glorious name we pray. Amen. Okay. Would you give me a little something in the chat just so I can confirm that you are still there? Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. So let's go back to where we were. I want you to hear me clearly when I tell you that none of you are lazy, okay? None of you are imagining things when it comes to your body and how you are feeling, okay? You've just been handed strategies that were never built for your biology, okay? Especially for the season that you are in. Most of what women are told about weight loss is actually based on research done on men, just because that's who most of the research is done on. Okay. Or maybe women in their 20s. So if you're over 35, you are in perimenopause, you are in postmenopause, those same strategies that you are learning can backfire. Okay. So I want to talk through some of the most common misconceptions and outdated strategies, okay, that are keeping you from making your progress. So the first one, and we hear this all the time, even from our doctors, okay, to just eat less and move more, right? We've all been told this, but when your hormones are shifting, that strategy can backfire so fast because your body is not a calculator. Like, I wish it were that easy. Our bodies are communicators. And what it's constantly communicating is, am I safe? Am I nourished? Can I release this weight, or do I need to hold on to it for protection? If it's not getting the nutrients, a rhythm that is needed, and safety signals, it's going to hold on to fat and slow everything down. And this is not because your body is stubborn. It's because your body is smart. Your symptoms are not rebellion, they're just simply communication. And we just have to learn how to listen. And that is what I am here to teach you. Okay. I also want you to know that stress isn't something that you just feel. It's something that your body is listening to 24/7. Okay, even when you're unaware. Chronic stress is quite literally reroutes your metabolism. It tells your body to store fat, it disrupts your thyroid, it slows your digestion. Your nervous system always comes first. If your body doesn't feel safe, fat loss is like not even on the table. Your body is going to shift into this preservation mode. You probably feel this. It slows down all of your metabolic processes that are not essential for survival. Like our hair is not essential for survival, right? That's why it starts to thin and fall out. So that means fewer calories burned, more fat is stored, more inflammation, less energy for doing all the things that you actually care about, right? And until your body feels safe again, it is going to resist every single effort that you make, no matter how clean you eat or how hard you work out. Okay. Here's the next one. Normal labs, and if you could see me right now, you would see me doing, the double quotes, don't mean optimal. Okay, normal labs just mean common. So you can feel bloated, brain fogged, have exhaustion, be inflamed, and still be told you're fine by your conventional doctor. But normal, quotes again, just means that you fall inside of a range that includes a whole lot of unhealthy people. Okay, that lab range wasn't built to reflect what vibrant and thriving health looks like. Okay, it was built to capture averages across a sick population. So when your doctor says everything looks normal, they're really just saying you look like most people. But most people are tired. Most people are inflamed. Most people don't feel well. That's not the standard that we're aiming for. We're aiming for optimal because that's where the healing happens. The energy comes back. Your body starts to respond again. Okay, here's the next one. You're not meant to fast and train and eat like a man. Your biology was never built for it. Men's hormones reset every 24 hours. Yours do not. Your body works on longer rhythms, weekly, monthly, and even seasonally. And it shifts depending on the phase of life that you are in. That rhythm matters. So when you follow a plan that's designed for men or younger women, and your body is actually going to perceive that as stress. And when your body feels stress, it shifts into a protection mode. More fat storage, disrupted sleep, slowed thyroid, unpredictable hunger and cravings. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't fast or you can't train. It just means that those tools need to be used with a specific timing and a nuance. Because for your body now, how you do things matters just as much as what you do. So the solution is not to push harder. It's to shift your strategy, to work with your biology and not against it. Okay, to create safety, rhythm, nourishment, so that your body can finally exhale and respond the way it was designed to. Okay. I want to talk about some reasons why your weight won't budge and why your body is fighting to protect you instead of letting it go. And I promise you that your body is not trying to make you miserable. It's not waking up every morning and saying, let's hold on to fat to frustrate her. And I know that's what it feels like a lot of times, but it's actually protecting you. Like that's its job. Fat is your body's built-in safety net. Have you ever heard that? Like your fat is actually protecting you like an emergency savings account. It's extra fuel that your body holds onto when it senses stress or thinks that food might run low. And if food were scarce, we would be so grateful for that backup system because it keeps us alive in those scenarios. Okay, fat also stores things that your body doesn't want circulating around, like stress chemicals, toxins, keeps them away from vital organs. Okay, and here's something that most women don't know. When your hormones are out of balance, fat actually protects you there too. So, like if estrogen is running high, and a lot of women have this, fat tissue will hold on to some of it to keep it from overwhelming your system. And without that buffer, your organs, like your liver and even your heart, would take the full hit. So if you're holding on to weight, it's not your body failing. It's actually doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's keeping you safe. And so the key isn't to fight it, it's to create the kind of environment where your body finally feels safe enough to let that protection go. Okay, so the first root cause, blood sugar crashes. Even healthy eaters can unknowingly spike and crash their blood sugar all day long. Okay, which is why you can feel like you're doing everything right and still not seeing results. Because sometimes that healthy, and here I go with quotes again, that healthy smoothie, the oat milk latte, handful of, gluten-free crackers or granola, they can literally send your blood sugar soaring. And what shoots up fast will always come crashing down. Okay. When your blood sugar drops too quickly, your brain goes into survival mode. It doesn't know that you have a stocked refrigerator. All it knows is fuel is running out. So it pumps out cortisol, which is your main stress hormone to help bring levels back up. I mean, like God put this in us for a reason, for survival. But here's the problem. Cortisol is also your fat storage hormone, which would be okay if our refrigerators were empty, right? We would want that. We would need that. These frequent ups and downs in your blood glucose levels send the message, hold on to fat, especially belly fat. You know why? Because that's where it's easiest for your body to grab in a just in case situation. Okay, so if you've ever felt shaky or irritable or suddenly starving out of nowhere, can you actually put a 1 in the chat for me if you've been there? Like that is not a lack of willpower. It's your biology begging for quick fuel to save you from what it thinks is a crisis. So many ones. Okay, thank you for your honesty. So here are some signs that your blood sugar swings might be stalling your weight loss. You get a 3 p.m. crash where you feel just foggy or snappy or just desperate for some coffee, a cold brew, because it has more caffeine. You might be getting cravings that feel almost uncontrollable, like you literally need sugar or carbs to feel normal. Okay, you might have belly fat that won't budge because your body is just holding on to that quick access fuel until it trusts that you're giving it steady energy. Okay, you might be waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. Okay, overnight dips in blood glucose will trigger a cortisol spike, quite literally, to keep you alive. Without that cortisol spike, you could die if your blood sugar got too low. And if you've ever had the feeling of being hangry, has anybody ever been hangry? Okay, when you go too long between meals, your mood swings are one of the first signs blood sugar isn't stable. And hangry, we can laugh at hangry and all that stuff. It's not normal. It's common. It's too common. I've been there, but it's not normal. Okay. We also have the next one is cortisol and chronic stress. God designed your body with two nervous systems for a reason. One of the nervous systems helps you to rise to the occasion when you need it. Okay, this is going to be your sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight. Okay. He also gave you another one to help you rest, to help you repair, and to help you digest. This is your parasympathetic, your rest and restore mode. Okay. Now, acute stress isn't bad. It's how God designed you to respond in short bursts when something urgent happens. We need that. We should be able to recover from that fairly quickly. The problem is when you live in that sympathetic, that fight or flight stress response all the time. Okay. It could be a skipped meal, an overpacked schedule, a workout that your body just isn't recovering from. It sends the message, we're not safe. Okay. Cortisol, your main stress hormone, stays high, tells your body to conserve energy, which means hold on to fat. And again, especially around your belly. And over time, this constant alert flips your natural rhythm. And that's when you hit that wired tired pattern. You're dragging all day, but the minute you should be sleeping, you feel restless. You feel wired. You wake up in the middle of the night. This is called HPA axis dysfunction. Your brain and your adrenal glands are stuck in stress mode. Okay, so what are some signs that chronic stress might be stalling your weight loss? You wake up tired, you push through all day, and then you feel wide awake at bedtime. Your belly keeps getting poochier, even when you're clean eating. Your workouts leave you wiped out instead of energized. Okay, like you need a nap after the gym. You should really get a second wind after the gym. So if we're feeling that fatigue, like we can't recover from our workouts, we have to pay attention to that. Okay. Also, if your mood feels unpredictable, if you're snappy, you're anxious, or you're just kind of on edge for no clear reason. And again, if you're waking up at that 2 or 3 a.m., staring at the clock, your brain is racing, right? Cortisol is the culprit. Next one. And I saw a lot of this in the chat when I asked what you would want to have go away. Hidden inflammation. Okay. Inflammation is not always this obvious, like swelling or pain. It can be quiet and smoldering for months or even years. Okay. And here's the thing, your body doesn't burn fat when it thinks there is a fire to put out. Survival will always win over fat loss. Like, thank God, right? Truly. So some common sources of hidden inflammation might actually surprise you. So food sensitivities can be one, even healthy foods that you eat often, like eggs, nuts, or, even certain veggies can be causing inflammation if you have a sensitivity at the time to them. Poor sleep or late night scrolling. Okay. Your body sees a lack of sleep as stress. Toxin exposure. This could be from plastics, household products, skincare, gut imbalances, okay, or even mild infections keeping your immune system on high alert. And a lot of times we don't even know about these. Okay, and for anyone who struggles with autoimmune flare-ups create a constant inflammatory kind of background noise. Okay, and the reason this matters is because inflammation raises your insulin. And high insulin is like a fat loss off switch. Ugh. Your body will not release weight when it's busy fighting what it perceives as an internal threat. Okay, I want you to picture this. If you could see me right now, you would see me holding up my hands, kind of like, I'm palming, say, a basketball. Okay, the basketball is a fat cell. And when inflammation is high, my hands that are surrounding this basketball, literally, that's the inflammation, and it surrounds the fat cell like a barrier, blocking stored fat from being released from that fat cell as fuel. It literally will not allow this fat to be released from the cell and into the bloodstream so that you can burn it off. It traps it in. Inflammation traps your fat in. Okay. So signs that hidden inflammation might be stalling your weight loss: feeling puffy or swollen. Okay. Especially in your face, your fingers, or your belly. So like your rings might be feeling tighter some days than others. Water retention is a major clue. That tired but wired feeling. Okay. Your body's dragging, but your mind just won't calm down. Stiff or inky joints. Okay. Even your muscles, and you don't really have like a clear reason for it. Okay. It could also be headaches, skin breakouts, random flare-ups that you just can't explain. Okay. Next one is gut dysfunction. If your gut isn't working, nothing else is, period. It's the foundation of your health. When it is off, everything built on top of it, your energy, your hormones, your metabolism, all gets thrown off too. Your gut has 3 critical jobs: absorbing nutrients, clearing out hormones you no longer need, and eliminating toxins. When it's sluggish or inflamed, those systems back up. Nutrients don't get where they need to go, so you're tired. Old hormones recirculate, very toxic to your system, and they get reabsorbed. Okay, this keeps your body in stress mode, which means fat loss takes a backseat. Okay, here's some signs that gut dysfunction might be stalling your weight loss: bloating, even if you're eating clean, especially that whole, like I talked about with Sarah, the flat feeling in the morning, but puffy by evening feeling. Constipation or inconsistent bowel movements. Your body can't clear out waste or excess hormones if you are not pooping regularly. Okay. If you're having skin issues or breakouts. Okay. If toxins can't exit through your gut, they're going to show up on your skin. And then the random food sensitivities that we talked about. Okay. Those are a sign of gut lining irritation. So feeling fatigued or foggy after meals, it tells us that your cells are not getting the nutrients that they need. Okay, even if you're eating well. So when you fix the gut, everything else starts working better. Your energy improves, your hormones rebalance, your body finally feels safe enough to let go of extra weight. All of this is exactly what was happening under the surface for Sarah. Okay, now we've covered a lot of information. Can you put a 2 in the chat for me if a lot of this is speaking to you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, okay, I am so glad. I am so glad because I am here to bring you the information that you are hungry for. Okay. I'm not here to just hand you all the problems, okay, and send you on your way. I know that you're here for solutions. I know you want real, practical steps, okay, that are going to help you to feel like yourself again. So I want to talk about how to reset your metabolism in 21 days. I think that's why you're here. Okay. And I want to be clear right up front. God didn't design your body to be starved or shamed into health. Okay. He designed it to heal when it's given the right environment. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. A true reset is about partnering with how he designed you. It's about creating safety, stability, and nourishment. Because again, when your body feels safe, it doesn't have to cling to every calorie just in case. Okay, it doesn't have to store extra fat as backup fuel. It can finally stop protecting you from perceived danger and start doing what it was designed to do to help you thrive. So in 21 days, we focus on simple yet intentional steps. Okay, lowering stress signals, stabilizing your blood sugar, improving digestion, and clearing out the things that have been keeping your body stuck. Because when you change the inputs, okay, and the inputs are what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, how you care for your nervous system, your body can respond very quickly. In fact, much more quickly than we even deserve for it to respond. You will be shocked at how much change you will notice in 21 days. You'll notice less bloating, steadier energy, clearer thinking, and yes, your weight will start to move in the right direction. But I think even more importantly, you just start to feel peace in your own body again, because it feels like it's finally working with you and not against you. And that, my friend, is exactly how God designed it to be. So here's how we do it. And I am going to attempt now, because my team sent me a message and said, you should be able to share your screen. So what I did, I have some slides here because I want you to be able to screenshot these if you'd like. I know that this next part is like the information that you came for. So let me see if sharing my screen doesn't knock me off. Okay. So glad that most of you made it back on. I think all but maybe 5 of you. Okay. Okay. And then let me, for myself, pull my chat back up in case you say anything. Okay. Okay. So here we are. How to reset your metabolism in 21 days. I broke this down into week 1, week 2, week 3 for you. Okay. We want to start week 1 by clearing the stress signals. Okay. Week 2, we get into restoring rhythm and supporting your gut. That stays 8 through 14. And then week 3, we reignite metabolic flexibility. Okay, so let's go through each of these. So let's start with clearing the stress signals. This is days 1 through 7. Okay, your body won't burn fat if it feels unsafe. Okay, so the very first step is to calm the stress signals. I want you to think of this as telling your body, and in fact, tell your body this, like say it to your body out loud. You're okay. You're safe. You can stop holding on for dear life. Again, God designed your body to prioritize survival. Like that was very important. And when you've been living in this constant stress mode, it has been doing exactly what it was made to do, to protect you. But it's during this week that we are going to start to show it a different message. So first things first, we need to clean out the kitchen. You have to set yourself up to win. I want you to go through your pantry. I want you to go through your fridge. I want you to toss processed oils, sugary snacks, packaged foods, all the things that keep your metabolism on a roller coaster. Okay, get rid of the canola oil, any vegetable oils, margarine, boxed cereal, granola bars, flavored yogurts, crackers. Like, I don't care that they're gluten-free, chips, even here I go with quotes again, healthy protein bars, okay, can be some of the biggest culprits. Are there maybe some good protein bars? Maybe, but a majority of them are not. Okay. God calls us to steward what we have been given. And this is one simple way to create the environment that supports the health that He designed us for. Okay. So that's number one in the first week. Then I want you to focus on filling your plate with primal foods. Okay. What are primal foods? These are the foods that God intended for us to eat. The ones that He created, not man-made imitations. Okay. I want you to stick to real whole foods, proteins, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, wild-caught fish, eggs with the yolk, right? The yolk is where the nutrients are. I want you to focus on fats, butter, ghee, tallow, coconut oil, avocado, olives. All of those are so, so good. And focusing on fattier cuts of meat is also a great way to get those fats in. So very important for hormone production, for hormonal harmony in general. Okay. Veggies, leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, right? Preferably cooked so that your system can break them down easier. And some fruits in moderation. Okay. I want you to stick to the berry family. Okay. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. Okay. You can do green apples. You can even do a green tipped banana. Just trust me on that one. That green tipped banana is going to have less sugar than a ripe banana. Okay. And all the lemons and limes that you want. Okay. In terms of the fruits, aside from lemons and limes, I want you to only have one serving of those a day. Okay. A cup of berries, a green apple, a green tipped banana. These foods aren't just healthy, they provide the steady fuel that your body's been begging for. Okay, this is going to help your body stop feeling like it needs to cling to every calorie for safety. Okay, and when you're filling your plate, I want you to eat your protein and your fat first. Okay, every meal should feel satisfying for 4 to 5 hours. So if you're hungry an hour later, you didn't eat enough. Is there anybody here in the chat who considers yourself or has considered yourself like a snacker? A lot of people will say that, like, I'm a snacker, I'm a grazer. I'm curious how many of you are in this room. Used to be, yes, me. Okay, so some of you, yeah, me, I'm a snacker. Yep, yes, okay. It's something to pay attention to because, again, we shouldn't be having to snack between meals. Okay, we need to go back and look at that previous meal and say, where could I have increased on that meal so that it held me over a bit longer? Protein and fat are going to calm your blood sugar swings, okay, which is going to help to lower your cortisol. It's telling your body you're safe, fuel is steady. You don't need to hold on to extra weight for protection. And then the last thing that I want you to focus on this week are some morning anchors. I want you to start your day in rhythm with how God designed your body to thrive. Okay, number one, I want you to try and keep a consistent wake up time. Try to wake up within the same 1 to 2 hour window every day, like even on the weekends. So, like if you normally wake up at 6 a.m. during the week, try not to wake up later than 8 a.m. on the weekends. Okay. Your body was designed for rhythm, and predictable wake times help to regulate hormones like cortisol, melatonin. Okay. All of these are going to control your energy, your sleep, and even fat burning. I see a question, how much protein per meal? It will be roughly maybe 4 to 7 ounces, but I really want you to pay attention to what keeps you satiated. If you did about 4 ounces or so, but you're hungry an hour later, maybe you need a little bit more. Okay. I want you to also focus on getting outside for natural light within 30 minutes of waking up. Morning light doesn't just wake you up, it's God's daily gift. Okay, it's his natural signal to your body that a new day has begun. Okay, it resets your circadian rhythm. It tells your brain we're safe, we're awake, we're in rhythm. It's a living reminder of his perfect design. Light in the morning and rest at night. This can just be like 2 to 3 minutes. Like get outside, gaze in the general direction of the sun. Of course, don't look at the sun. 2 to 3 minutes will make a huge difference for your circadian rhythm. And then the last thing this week is I want you to start drinking some lemon salt water, which I call a morning mojo. Okay. It's a simple habit. It literally, it hydrates, it replenishes minerals, it wakes up digestion. It helps to turn your metabolism on for the day. It's really simple. Actually, you can even prepare this the night before and leave it out on your counter, because we really do want the water to be either room temperature or warm. So about 12 to 16 ounces, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter of a lemon squeezed in. If the lemon's not too juicy, you might want to do a half of a lemon squeezed in. Okay. Once you start drinking this in the mornings, you can't stop. I know I have some women in here from my membership. If you drink your morning mojo, would you put that in the chat that you do? You can just say yes. If it's something that has become a habit for you. Every single morning. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. So many of you. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. Sea salt is going to be the best for you. Okay. Somebody asked what kind of salt, not table salt, not like Morton's. Okay. We want sea salt. Yep. Celtic salt, which is a sea salt. Beautiful. Okay. So many of you who have adopted this. I love it. Redmond real salt. Great. Yep. That's a sea salt. Perfect. Redmond is great. Celtic is great. The pink salt, also good. Slightly prefer sea salt over the pink Himalayan, but it is also good. Okay. So after adopting these things that we've talked about, you probably will notice that the first few days can feel a little uncomfortable. Okay. Because your body's going to begin to shift out of survival mode. You might start to notice some headaches, and this could be from mild to like, I stayed home from work today. Just depends. Okay. And it's not like whoever was eating the worst before has the worst symptoms when they come into this. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes people who were eating horribly do completely fine when switching into this mode. And then other people who already felt like they were, doing most of the things right, ends up with the headaches, right? So we just don't know. So you might get headaches, you might have fatigue, you're probably going to have cravings. It's not a sign that anything is wrong. It's just a sign that your body's clearing out the things that have been keeping it stuck. So I really want you to give yourself grace during this stage. Okay. You want to drink plenty of water. I want you to make sure you can actually take pinches of salt, sea salt, put it under your tongue and just chase it with water. It's like one of the best ways to make sure you're staying hydrated. when we remove a lot of the, carbohydrates that you might have been eating before, we have to remember that water follows carbohydrates. And so we can sometimes start to become a little dehydrated. And drinking water is good, yes, but we also need to make sure we have those electrolytes to hang on to the water too. Okay. Okay, let's see how much salt and lemon to 8 to 6. Okay, so up on the screen here, and you guys are welcome to screenshot this. Are you seeing my shared screen? I guess I should have asked that. Okay, good, perfect. So on here, I have the recipe. So 12 to 16 ounces of the water, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and a quarter of a lemon. Okay. Oh, it's such a great point. I'm going to pull this back down in my chat. It says, conventional doctors have scared people from eating salt, but if your kidneys are working, it will clear any extra salt. And it's such a great point to bring up. The salt that we want to be afraid of is the salt that comes in these prepackaged foods, right? These ultra processed foods. That's what we need to stay away from. Sea salt is a beautiful thing. It is much more balanced in all minerals and not just sodium. Okay. Now, later in the week, you should start to notice less bloating. You should start to notice more energy, less afternoon crashes. Okay. You'll probably even feel this kind of like quiet sense of relief because for the first time in a long time, your body is starting to believe it doesn't have to fight to protect you every second of the day. Okay. And that noise just begins to clear. It truly becomes easier to hear God's voice and feel his presence when we start clearing out what I call the white noise. Okay. Let's go to week 2, days 18 to, or days 8 to 14. Okay. By now, your body should be feeling safer. Okay. Now we get to build on the foundation. This is the week where you should start to feel a shift in a big way. When you bring your body back into rhythm and you begin supporting your gut, it's like flipping on a switch. Your energy, your hormones, your metabolism, they're all deeply connected to your gut. So when your gut is happy, everything works better. So I want you to think of this week like teaching your body how to trust you again. As your gut begins to heal, I think you'll be surprised how quickly other areas of your health start to follow. So we're going to keep eating primal. Okay. I want you to stay consistent with the steady protein rich meals. I want you to focus on variety with the primal food. So rotate your proteins. Okay. If 1 week you kind of went primarily beef or 1 week you went primarily chicken, maybe the next week do a different protein. Sometimes it's easier to stick with just 1 or 2 per week. So you're not having to cook up, a whole bunch of different meals. But make sure that you are changing those up over time. Mix up your veggies. Okay. Keep those healthy fats in. Don't fear the fats. Just like we don't want to fear the sea salt, we don't want to fear the fats. Okay. This variety is going to help to feed your gut microbes. Okay. This gives you a wider range of nutrients. So it's just going to really help your digestion to thrive. Okay. I also want you to make sure that you're eating enough. If you're still feeling hungry, you're feeling low energy, you're craving sugar, you likely need larger portions. Go back to your fats and your proteins. Because if you're under eating, your body is still going to be in that stress mode. It's the opposite of what we want here. And this is why I don't say specifically like eat this much. I want you to learn what it is that your body is telling you. Gosh, that last meal kept me full for 4 hours. I did a good job on that meal. Let me do more of those. Gosh, I was hungry, 2 hours later. Yeah, you know what? I went a little less on the protein this time. And you learn as you go. Okay. This is really important. I want to make sure that you slow down and chew. Okay. Digestion begins in your mouth. So when you take the time to eat without rushing or even scrolling while we eat is actually keeps us in our sympathetic state while eating. But if we can take the time, it's actually going to give us a head start on processing our nutrients. Consider thanking God for your food before you eat. Not just as a prayer of gratitude, although that's fantastic, but as a way to slow your mind and your body into a parasympathetic state. It's not a mistake that we call the parasympathetic state a rest and digest state. Okay, very, very important. Is tofu an acceptable protein? So tofu isn't one that I recommend. Animal proteins, so tofu would not be considered a primal food. It is soy. Soy is so often genetically modified. If you are going to use tofu, my best recommendation is make sure it is organic. Okay, really, really important. Why is it when I drink half my weight in ounces of water or even 100 ounces, I pee all night? So this is a really, really great question. I want you to make sure if like right now you're drinking 12 ounces a day, which probably sounds like very little, but for some people, it's just their reality. I don't want you going from 12 ounces to 100 ounces. I want you to increase with time. So don't work your way all the way up to how much water you should be drinking overnight. Take a week to get up there. So that's one thing that will help. Also, what will help is getting those electrolytes in. So the salt that we're talking about, that salt is going to help you hang on to some of that water, which will prevent dehydration and should keep you from peeing too much. And then also, cutting water off earlier in the evening would be really helpful too. And maybe just sipping when you need it as you get closer to bedtime. Okay. I also want you this week to start thinking about adding a gentle eating window. So aiming for, 12 to 14 hours overnight where you're not eating. Okay. And this isn't about restriction. I'm not doing this to cut your calories. It's about giving your gut the time to rest. Okay, we want to give our digestion time to rest, and we want your insulin levels to have a chance to stabilize. See, when we're snacking all day, eating all day, it's like our insulin levels kind of constantly run high. They don't get a break. And again, God designed your body to work in cycles. We need periods of nourishment, and we need periods of rest. Okay, and this is one simple way that we can honor that. You don't have to do this every single day. And of course, I can't get too into fasting today, but one of the biggest mistakes you can make with fasting or intermittent fasting is doing the same thing every single day. Okay. I do want you to add some variation in there. Okay. At least one day per week, I want you to like wake up and have breakfast, have it fairly early, have your meals throughout the day. Don't focus so much on an eating window. Just eat to what your body is asking you for. Okay. This is about flexibility and not rigidity. Okay. We're doing here what helps your metabolism to heal. So just kind of start playing with those real small eating windows. Okay. Go 12 hours without eating. I mean, that would look like eating breakfast at 7 a.m. and being done eating by 7 p.m. Okay. If we go 14 hours, it might mean eating breakfast at 7 a.m. and being done by 5 p.m. So start considering those. How many meals a day should we eat? We have a question. 3. 3 is a good place to start. See how you feel there. Okay. If you're snacking right now between meals, again, try to work up to making the meals a little bigger and reducing on the snacks. The last thing I want you to add in for this week is going to be some morning movement. We're just talking 10 minutes here. This can be stretching, walking, mobility work. It's not about burning calories. It's about waking up your muscles and improving insulin sensitivity. Okay. Just a few intentional minutes in the morning can shift your entire metabolism in a really big way. It's so important that I actually provide 10-minute guided morning movement practices for all the women in my alumni membership. Okay, because I've seen firsthand how just these simple, consistent rhythms can completely change how your body feels and functions. So I'm not talking about like waking up and hitting the weights. Waking up, getting 10 minutes of movement in. Okay. And as a bonus, what you can do is this is a perfect habit that you can actually combine with the natural sunlight that you're now getting in the morning, right? That you started to incorporate last week. Layer this in. Take your stretching or your walking outside, get both benefits at one time. Okay. Movement to wake up your metabolism, and morning light to reinforce that natural circadian rhythm that God designed for you. Okay. By the end of this week, you should notice that your energy levels feel more even, that your bloating continues to decrease, your cravings start to fade. Okay. Because your blood sugar is finally steady and your gut is beginning to heal. Many women at this time also notice that the scale starts to move in a favorable direction. And it's not because you're forcing it. It's because your body's finally feeling safe enough to let go. Okay. You might also start to feel a bit calmer, more grounded during this week. Okay. Let's move on to the last week. By this week, your body has done the hard work of calming stress signals, of building trust. And now it's ready to be gently nudged into a better fat burning and metabolic flexibility. Okay, I want you to think of this week like as helping your body remember how to tap into the energy that it has been holding on to for that just in case, because now it feels safe enough to let go. So this week, we might try one longer fast. If you're feeling steady, if you're feeling solid, meals are balanced, then I want you to try, let's go 16 to 18 hours between dinner and your first meal of the day. Okay, it's not about pushing harder. It's just about giving your body a longer window to lower insulin, to tap into stored fat, to reset its fuel flexibility. Okay, if you're feeling really great with this, some women choose to extend and try one fast this week of like 20 to 24 hours. But only if your energy, your sleep, and your hunger cues feel stable. Okay, the key is listening to your body. This part is optional. Like if you're feeling like you have already changed all my food, I've incorporated this other stuff, then don't worry about doing this. Just continue with your gentle eating windows during week 3. Okay, you will still see progress by staying consistent with the basics, okay, that we've covered up until this point. Okay, then I would like you to focus this week on adding some consistent movement. Up until now, for movement, we've just been doing that 10 minutes in the morning. Now I want you to aim for 30 minutes daily, walking, light strength training, just anything you enjoy for 30 minutes. Okay, that movement is going to help to shuttle glucose into your muscles for fuel. It's going to help you to build lean muscle. Lean muscle is what boosts your metabolism for the long term. It tells your body, we're using this energy. We don't need to store it. Okay, choose something that feels good for your body and not punishing. Okay. And then a wind down routine. Okay, this step is just as important as what you eat or how you move. Okay, your metabolism cannot thrive if your nervous system is wired all night. So dimming lights, shutting down screens an hour before bed, incorporating some calming practices like prayer and journaling or even just deep breathing are going to help to shift your body into a rest and repair mode. Try reading scripture or reflecting on gratitude at night. Okay, God designed your body to restore during sleep. And giving it that environment to be able to do so is like saying, I trust your design for my body, and I'm letting you do the work while I rest. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of intentional wind down time can mean deeper sleep. Okay, better hormone balance. Waking up feeling clear and refreshed. Okay. So what you should notice this week now, as we come toward the end of this 21 days, is clearer thinking, deeper sleep, an overall feeling that your body is working with you again and not against you. Okay, many women describe feeling just lighter in their bodies, less puffy, more confident in their clothes, just comfortable in their skin. Okay, and the weight continues to move during this phase. And again, not because you're forcing it, it's just because your body finally feels safe enough to let go. And I think probably the best part is just that sense of feeling clear and just feeling grounded and finally back in rhythm with how God designed your body to function. Now, this is a 21-day reset. Okay, this is the start of your body learning to feel safe again. This is not the end of the journey. This is not like get through 21 days and you have arrived, right? Like, no, we've just implemented a lot of really great new habits. These 3 weeks lay the foundation by calming your stress signals, by restoring your rhythm, by reminding your metabolism how to work for you again. Okay, but true healing takes time and continued consistency. Okay, that's why the 21-day Primal Reset is designed to equip you with the tools and the confidence to keep building on. Okay, so you carry these habits forward and you keep seeing progress long after this 21 days is over. Okay, I know I saw some questions come through. So for your healthy fats, yes, you can do avocados, you can do tallow, you can do ghee, you can do butter, you can do olive oil, olives, all great fat options. What if you do a boot camp every morning? That would definitely count as your 30 minutes. Absolutely. What would one big meal look like for an 18-hour fast? Well, if you're going to do just the one meal per day, I would eat a meal focusing on your proteins and your fats initially to, really fill you up and stabilize your blood sugars. And this might be a little bit of trial and error. You might eat a meal, because I can't give you exactly how much you should eat. You might eat a meal and go for this 18-hour fast and think, oh my gosh, that just didn't work for me. I should have eaten more. The next time you can eat more. Okay, this is all about opening up that communication with your body. Okay. Okay, the coffee. You can have coffee. Sometimes coffee will you don't know this unless you test your blood sugars, but it can increase blood sugars in people sometimes due to a cortisol increase. Okay, so that's something you would have to figure out for yourself. I thought fasting meant you starve all day. I love that you put that there. It's not what it is. You're really opening up this channel to God during this time as well. So we want to make sure that we are truly taking care of our bodies outside of this fasting time. Okay. Yeah, mushroom coffee is really, really great. Fasting should not feel like you are punishing yourself. Oh, I stopped sharing as if I was going to be able to show my face again. Fasting should not feel that way. You should feel actually pretty incredible while you're fasting. You should feel very clear-minded. I also want you to think of it like you have a fasting muscle, because you actually do, and it gets easier with time. And sometimes you go in for that 18-hour fast and that's just not going to work for you that day for one reason or another. Then stop the fast early. Okay. Honor what it is that your body is asking you for. Okay. Now, for those of you who would like to continue this conversation with me and not just learn about these steps, but actually walk them out with guidance and support and a plan, I'd love to invite you into the 21-day Nourish to Thrive Primal Reset. This reset is a full body, faith forward program designed for all of you in this room. Okay. Women who are tired of guessing, tired of trying all the things that don't work, and just ready to give your body the safety and the rhythm and the nourishment that it needs, that it's been asking you for. And I want to make this part very clear because this is what's considered a beta launch, meaning it's the first time that I have actually opened for enrollment on this specific program. You are going to be getting it at the lowest price this program will ever be offered. Okay. I'd like to make that clear because if you happen to come back at a future date and the price is higher, this is my warning about that. This reset is your chance to take everything that we've talked about today and actually live it out with guidance, with encouragement, with faith-centered support. And if you've been trying to figure out, how to do this on your own, then this is your next step. Okay. Let me again share my slides here so that you can see exactly what it is that we are talking about. And let me open up my chat, okay? So this is the Nourish to Thrive 21-day Primal Reset. Okay, this is faith-rooted, it is science-backed, and it's going to help you eat with purpose and feel like yourself again. And I'm going to tell you what is included in this reset. Okay, you are going to get 5 live coaching calls with me. I do not hand you off to somebody else after you have come in. Those, we meet for 5 weeks in a row. Those calls will be with me. You meet for 2 live life coaching calls with our Kingdom Life Coach, Shay Greenwood. Okay. This is something that I have never provided inside of my resets before, ever. So this is something brand new. This is part of the reason why this is beta, because it's the first time that we're doing this. So, she's going to bring Jesus into this, because if we're going to make this lifelong change for ourselves, we need him walking with us. Okay. You'll have access to our private Primal Reset platform. You'll have faith-based support, community access, lifetime replays. Okay. You are also going to get, and if you follow me on social media, you're probably familiar with this. You're going to get my Rooted in Rhythm Primal Fasting Blueprint. Now, this is separate from the 21-day reset, but you're going to get this. And it's not just, a PDF that I'm giving you. It's really kind of a mini course that you're going to be able to access through your app. That is going to tell you exactly how to fast for the season that you are in. So if you're still cycling, here's how you're going to fast. If you're very perimenopausal, here's how you're going to fast. If you are postmenopausal, here is how you are going to fast. So you are getting that completely free just for signing up with the Primal Reset. Okay, it's a $97 value. These next 2 things, I want you to hear me clearly because they are limited time bonuses. Okay. When you sign up in the first 48 hours, you are going to get a printed Primal Reset success manual. It's like around 80 pages or so. Printed, shipped to your door. Like, when do we get anything printed anymore? It seems like everything is digital now. That's going to come to you, to your door, when you sign up in the first 48 hours. If you sign up after the first 48 hours, you will, of course, still have the digital copy. And then you can purchase the printed copy if you would like to. Okay. And then when you sign up in the first 24 hours, so this will be through tomorrow afternoon, you get $50 off. It's $297. Regular price, and what the price will go back up to is going to be $347. That's after the first 24 hours. Okay. So here, let's take a little sneak peek into what you're going to get. During week 1, we set the foundation. So we are going to make sure that you are grounded in this. You're going to read through your success manual. You're going to take stock of what's in your kitchen. I am going to walk you very specifically through a kitchen clean out. Okay. Detox begins week 2. Okay. So week 1, you have time to prepare. Week 2, we actually begin the 21-day reset. Okay, we're focusing on nourishment, on rhythm, allowing your body to do what it was designed to do. Okay. Week 3, we continue with our reset. And then we dig into one of the biggest culprits behind just hormonal chaos, which is sugar. Okay, what's giving you your energy crashes? I share a lot with you. I help you to know, like, here's what you're looking for on your food labels. Okay. Okay, let me say this really quick because I do see the question in the chat. For the ladies who are in my current alumni membership, just hang tight and we will get you a link. When you are in my alumni membership, now all of you who do sign up for this 21-day reset will have the opportunity after the reset to join my alumni membership. When you do that, these resets are no additional charge for you. Once you're in my community, I give you a lot. This would be included in your membership. Okay, so I have somebody in the chat asking if they have a discount code. Yes, that will be coming to you, all of you ladies. When will this actually start? Our first meeting will be July 30th, and then the actual reset itself begins August 6th. Okay, so next Wednesday is our first meeting. Week 4, we dig a little bit more into primal eating and fasting for hormone balance. Okay, how does all of this connect? Okay, especially when it comes to your hormones. And then week 5, we talk about what stays and what goes. You've made it this far. Like, where do we go from here? Some decide to extend the 21-day fast longer because, my gosh, they're feeling so great. And some decide, I'm going to add this back in. I'm going to add that back in. We talk through all of that so that you know what you want to try to add back in or not. Okay. I want to share some client testimonials with you of ladies who have been in my resets in the past. Michelle said, I used to wake up exhausted every day. By week 2, I was getting out of bed with energy. That alone was worth it. And the spiritual encouragement, exactly what I didn't know I needed. Okay. Rachel said, the food lists were so helpful and the weekly coaching kept me grounded. I lost 9 pounds, but more importantly, I lost the shame I'd been carrying about my body that I didn't even know I was carrying. There's a lot that you really do learn about yourself when going through the reset. Amanda said, I've tried Whole30, I've tried keto, calorie counting, nothing stuck. This was different. I finally feel like I can keep going without falling off the wagon, and being able to join Tanya's alumni membership after is just what I needed to stay on track. So there's my alumni membership. And then Laura, it wasn't just the nutrition for me, it was the community, the mindset shifts, the biblical truth. I came in for weight loss, but also left with a new perspective on how to care for myself as a woman of God. Somehow that has made this whole process feel lighter. And that makes me so happy to hear. So again, on this last side, I just want to make sure that we're very clear that the $50 off is good through tomorrow afternoon. That's when the price goes up to $349. The printed success manual is part of the bonus through Saturday afternoon. Okay. After that, you can purchase it separately, or you can just have your digital copy of it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go back and see if I had any specific questions in the chat, or if you do have questions that you would like to put in the chat, you can put those there now. Oh, and actually, let me finish with this. You're probably wondering what happened to the woman that I told you about in the beginning. She joined one of my previous resets. That's why we had been talking. She didn't join as a quick fix, but just as a step toward finally working with her body instead of against it. And admittedly, the first week was not perfect. She did have the cravings. She did have some headaches. She had moments where she doubted, if anything was really going to change, but she did stay consistent. And slowly her body started to respond. Okay. By the end of the 21 days, she didn't just notice the weight continuing to move. She was really feeling the deeper wins. I will say this. I think that is what surprises a lot of women is is, yes, they're happy about the weight loss, but there's so many other things that they actually consider a bigger win than the weight loss. So it's very interesting to watch. Her digestion smoothed out and she was pooping every day. Can I get an amen? Her energy no longer crashed in the mid-afternoon. Her mind felt clear for the first time in months. And she just said that she generally felt hope again. Just hope that her body wasn't broken, that it could still work the way that God designed it to. That woman was never broken, and neither are you. Your body isn't fighting you. Your body's protecting you. Okay, it just needs the right rhythms. It needs the right nourishment. It just needs a little space to do what God created it to do. I would be honored to walk with you in this. Let's do this together. Okay, I'm going to go through and see if I have anything in the chat, any questions from you. The link showing, do we go there to join? Yes, you can go to the link that my team is putting in the chat to join. Okay, so during the fast, what can be consumed? One thing you'll learn with me is like, there's never just one simple answer. I will say this, in the Rooted in Rhythm Primal Fasting Blueprint, you get worksheets on this because there are fasting aids and there are fasting snacks. Okay. And so it just kind of depends on how deep you want to go with your fasting, which will let you know what you can consume during your fast. I lay all of that out for you in the Rooted in Rhythm Primal Fasting Blueprint. And if you are deciding, you know what, I don't want to do this 21-day reset for one reason or another, you actually can purchase the fasting blueprint separately, aside from the 21-day reset, if you'd like to do that as well. That link will be ready for you soon. But you know, if you're doing a real clean fast, we're talking water and salt is what most people do. Okay. That's technically what you're supposed to be able to have during a fast. Okay. Oh, thank you, Diana. Working with Tanya in our community has been life-changing. Like, love, love, love to hear that. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not missing any other questions. And if you think I'm missing your question, please feel free to put it in the chat again. Okay. Yes, Kim, we also will be emailing out the sign up. If anybody is having trouble clicking on the link here in the chat, yes, that will be coming to your inbox. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mel. I've worked with Tanya and I'm so glad I did. One thing I will actually say is the women I work with for a long time. I love all of the women who come into my community. Okay. Thanks for this. I needed to hear this. There's hope. Okay. I'm so happy. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for being here through the technical difficulty. I still do not have Wi-Fi. Thankfully, I have the hotspot on my phone worked. I love you all, and I hope to see as many of you as possible in the reset. Send me an email, and if you have any questions, and we are happy to get back to you. All right, ladies. And yes, you will get the recording as well. That's it for today on the Nourish to Thrive podcast. If you found value here, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or send it to someone who's walking a similar path. Keep showing up, keep asking questions, and know that healing is possible, especially when you trust the one who designed your body to heal. Until next time, stay rooted in truth and nourished in grace.